Tax-free borrowing. Here's the move. Instead of selling stocks or real estate to get cash, billionaires borrow against them. Let's say you own $100 million in stock. If you sell it, you might owe $20 million in taxes. But if you borrow $50 million from a bank and use that stock as collateral, you get the money and owe zero taxes because borrowing isn't income. You still own the stock, it keeps growing, and the interest you have to pay on the loan, well, you might be able to write that off. So what's the catch? If the stock drops too much, the bank might say, hey, your collateral is not worth enough anymore. That's called a margin call. You'll have to add more money or sell some stock to pay the loan back. That's the risk. But billionaires plan around it. They borrow way less than the stock is worth to avoid ever being forced to sell. Real estate game. Real estate has cheat codes. First, depreciation. The government says your buildings lose value over time, even if they're going up in price. That fake loss equals a real tax deduction. Second, 1031 exchanges. Sell a building, as long as you buy another one soon, you don't pay tax on the profit. You can keep trading up with properties tax-free. Third, cost segregation. You split a building into parts, like roof, wiring, carpet, and say they lose value faster. This gives you huge write-offs right now, not decades later. Together, these let you be a millionaire landlord and still report a loss on your taxes. Charity loophole. Rich people don't just donate money, they build their own charity. They set up something called a donor-advised fund, or a private foundation. Then they donate stocks or property into it. That means they get a huge tax break right away. But here's the trick. The money doesn't have to go to any real charity yet. It just sits in the fund. They still get to control it. They decide when, where, and even if it ever gets donated. And sometimes they pay themselves or their family to run it. So it's charity, but on their terms. Stock option exit plan. A lot of tech billionaires don't get paid like normal people. Instead of salary, they get equity, pieces of the company. And equity isn't taxed until you sell it. So they hang on to it or borrow against it like in trick number 1. That way, they live rich without triggering income tax. Even when they do sell, there's plenty of things they can do to limit taxes, such as moving to a low tax state. Loss harvesting. Let's say you made $1 million on Apple stock. If you sell it, that's $1 million in profit, and the IRS wants a cut. But maybe you also bought another stock that lost $1 million. Here's the trick. You sell the losing stock too. Now you made $1 million and lost $1 million. The profit and the loss cancel each other out, so you don't owe any taxes. This is called tax loss harvesting. You're using your bad investments to cancel out your good ones. Rich people don't wait until the end of the year to do this. They have software that tracks their whole portfolio all the time. If a stock dips low enough, it just gets sold to lock in that loss, which can cancel out a gain somewhere else. They can just rebuy the stock they lost money on if they think it'll go up in the future, or they can invest the money elsewhere. It's like having a robot that helps lower your taxes every single day. LLC Web. Imagine instead of owning stuff in your own name, you put it all in companies. You start an LLC, then you start another one, and another. Each company owns different things: your car, your house, your money, your business. Now, when money comes in, it flows through this web of companies. Each one can claim business expenses, flights, fancy dinners, new laptop, even a home office. It makes your income look smaller, so you pay less tax. And there's more. If someone tries to sue you, they won't find your name on anything. You don't own the car, you just use it. You don't own the house, your LLC does. And all of this is legal as long as you follow the rules. Dynasty trust. Most people pass money to their kids when they die, but the government takes a chunk. That's called the estate tax. The more you leave behind, the more they take. Rich families don't like that, so they use something called a dynasty trust. Here's how it works. You put money, property, or stocks into the trust while you're alive. Once it's in, it's locked in. The government can't tax it when you pass it on, and it gets passed down from your kids to their kids to their kids. You can set rules too. Only pay out a little each year, only pay if the kids stay in school, only pay when they turn 30. Offshore shuffle. Let's say you own a treasure chest full of gold. If you keep it in your backyard, the local king is going to take a big chunk of it every time you open it up. That's tax. So what do billionaires do? They move the treasure chest to a different island where the king doesn't take a cut. That island is called a tax haven. Places like the Cayman Islands, Bermuda, and Switzerland are known for this. They have super low taxes and they don't ask a lot of questions. You can legally move your money there as long as you follow the rules. But here's the clever part. The billionaire doesn't move the money in their own name. They create a shell company, basically an empty company that just holds stuff. The shell company owns the treasure chest now, not you. So technically, you don't even own the money anymore, but you control the company that does, which means you still control the money. Some people go even further. They change where they live on paper, so they can claim they're a resident of the island too, even if they still spend most of their time in the United States. That way, they get all the tax benefits of living in a low-tax country without really leaving. If done legally, it's allowed. It just takes lawyers, paperwork, and a very good map of the rules. Delaware and Wyoming black hole. Imagine you're walking through a town full of houses, cars, and stores. You want to know who owns them, but every name tag just says private. No names, no faces, just nothing. That's what Delaware and Wyoming are like for rich people's money. These two states let you start a company, or an LLC, without putting your name on it. That means nobody knows who actually owns it. Not other people, not nosy reporters, sometimes not even the government unless they dig really deep. Let's say you buy a house, but instead of owning it yourself, your LLC owns it. Same with your car, your business, even your fancy art or watch collection. So if someone tries to sue you, like in a car accident or a business deal gone wrong, it's not clear what you actually own. They can't come after the house, they can't come after the car. Why? Because technically, you don't own anything. The LLC does. It's kind of like having a locker at the gym. You don't carry all your stuff around, you just keep it in the locker. But if your name isn't on the locker, who really knows it's your stuff? And here's the thing. You can even stack LLCs on top of each other. One company owns another company, which owns another company. It turns into a maze. Good luck to anyone trying to find out what you really have. That's why people call Delaware and Wyoming a black hole for ownership. You put your stuff in, and to the outside world, it just disappears. It's not illegal, it's just invisible on purpose. Insurance wrapper. Think of this like putting your money in a magic box. Inside the box, your money grows and grows, but nobody's allowed to touch it, not even the tax man. That magic box, it's called life insurance, but not the kind regular people get. Rich people use a special kind called private placement life insurance, or PPLI. It's like a VIP version made just for millionaires and billionaires. Here's how it works. Instead of just using life insurance to protect your family, you invest inside the policy. You don't just put in cash. You can add stocks, real estate, hedge funds, even private businesses. All of it sits safely inside the wrapper. Now here's the trick. While the money is inside, it grows without being taxed. Normally, when your investments go up and you sell, the IRS wants a cut. But inside this policy, no taxes. And when you die, your family gets all that money and they still don't pay taxes on it. No capital gains tax, no income tax, no estate tax. Just one big tax-free payout. It's totally legal, but the setup is expensive and the rules are complex. And it's only worth it if you have serious money. That's why it's one of the richest tax tricks in the entire playbook.